Welcome to another episode of Ask Jade. Today I'm going to cover a quick little topic regarding the different types of business entities that you can operate under. So we'll just start right with sole proprietorship. So there is no liability protection. There is no distinction between your business and you. Essentially, your business is you. And so you are a single owner. You can operate in your name or a doing business as. And just remember, there's no liability protection there. Next, we have partnerships. And in a partnership, each partner has unlimited liability as well. There's no entity in place to protect you. And a partnership, of course, is two or more partners. And the definition of this is an association of two or more people to carry out as co-owners of a business for profit. And a partnership can be formed orally or just based on your actions. If you're sharing profits with somebody, your default a partnership. Some important legal things that you need as a partnership is a partnership agreement. That is very important to have. You want to know management duties and how profits are going to be split. So a partnership agreement is a must-have. Next is your LLC. So the LLC now is a separate entity which will protect you from personal liability. So great to have. LLCs are a go-to, especially for single owners. All you have to do is file your articles of organization, which are $250 with the Secretary of State. You should have an operating agreement. If you're more than one owner, if it's just you, you don't need an operating agreement. But if there's more than one of you, you definitely need an operating agreement in place. Just like a partnership agreement, it will set out, your percentage interest in the company, duties, have everything in writing so that there's no conflicts. In Illinois, the default is that your LLC is member managed unless your operating agreement says that you want it to be manager managed. And you just have to file your annual report, which is $125. Moving on to a C corporation. So this is also a separate entity. It protects you from personal liability. You have shareholders in stock in a C corporation. You file your articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State for $175. With a corporation, you have to keep really good records, or else they can do what's called pierce the corporate veil and go after you personally. So you have that entity in place to protect you from liability. So make sure that you have your bylaws, your stock ledger, your initial resolutions, your meeting minutes, and your shareholder agreement. These are must-haves if you don't want to pierce that corporate veil. And then again, you file your annual report for $150. An S corporation. So this is essentially a tax election. You can be an LLC and elect to be taxed as an S corp. You can be a corporation and elect to be taxed as an S corp. It just stands for small corporation. And so you are limited to 100 shareholders or less and only one class of stock. This is, again, a separate entity, protects from personal liability. And the bookkeeping depends on whether you're an LLC, which is little to no bookkeeping, only an operating agreement, or if you're a C corp, where you have to have all of those documents in place that I just went over. And then last but not least are nonprofits. This is a separate entity. It protects you from personal liability. You file your non-profit articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State. They're much cheaper, $75, and your annual report is much cheaper, $10. But again, you have to have a lot of records in place with a nonprofit, such as your bylaws, your board of directors, your meeting minutes, and you have to keep track of donations, donors, and amounts. So this is kind of a little overview of each entity and the requirements and legal requirements that goes into each one. So please make sure that you're keeping track of your records if you're a corporation or nonprofit, and protect yourself from liability by forming an entity. See you next time.